Hey, this is John Gilson from Again Faster. This week on Snatches and Scotch, you're going to see our Canadian CEO, Chris Kalec, tell you a little bit about our gear. I hope that you like it and maybe you order some.
So, welcome back everybody to Snatch and Scotch. We're here with Chris from Again Faster Canada, and we're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff. I've learned a lot personally today. I'm a gym owner, and I went through something that I was pretty pissed off about. My bumper plates were broken.
It happens
within a year and a half, and I wish I invested more initially, but I didn't. Because I was cheap, as most new gym owners are.
Absolutely, I've been there. I've been there 8 times already.
Yeah, and now we're looking at like investing into some really good bumpers that last a long time. And I saw Chris here at Again Faster, and I was like, dude, I know you. You were Chris is actually one of my guys at my level 1 seminar. He was an intern with level 1 HQ staff, right?
Fun. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and then I saw him again at the John Gilson seminar, which was awesome, by the way. We released that just this week, and we want to talk about what is Again Faster, like what you guys all about. Because talking to John, I was really impressed with like the human aspect of the company.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, people, if you're in business, you'll realize people sometimes could be assholes. It's true. You guys are assholes, some of you. But John kind of takes that and says, you know what? Okay, you know, maybe you're in the wrong or I'm in the wrong. It really doesn't matter. Here's how we make it work. So what are you guys all about?
Well, Again Faster came about at the beginning of CrossFit. I mean, John was part of the beginning of CrossFit, where he brought in so much education to the CrossFit market back in 2006, 2007, even earlier than that. That there was a need for that, and John saw that, and that was his main vehicle, was education, how to move well, how to coach well. There was, HQ had the level 1s, but it wasn't as big as today, and so he worked a lot with HQ to help build education.
Well, back then they were doing like Murph, right? Like for the level 1.
No, yeah, something like that. Yeah. No, it was more intense back then. I mean, I did mine in 2007 or 2008, and it was a different world. I mean, we did Tabata squats. Holding the bottom was horrible, but So John realized that there was 2 things missing. There's education missing, and then kind of bringing together the equipment being available to CrossFitters and to CrossFit owners, because you'd have to go and find the suppliers, and it was hard to pay shipping from one end, pay customs on another end. It was not easy, and then that's what brought me to speak to him back in. I mean, I had opened my first gym in 2008.
Oh wow!
And then my second and third probably in 2009. And I had spoken to John at that point, saying, it's so hard to get gym up into Canada. It was so hard at that point. Like, there was York here, and York was an okay brand, but it didn't have everything that we needed. And so I spoke to John, and we were able to kind of put together Again Faster Canada, and we expanded globally. And I've been with Again Faster since the very beginning when it was here in Canada, and grew it from a small warehouse to a bigger warehouse, to even bigger warehouse, and shipping.
I feel the pain. So I grew my gym in my garage at home in 2013, 12, I think 12. Yeah.
13, 14, 15.
12. No, 13?
13.
Shit, I don't know. So I grew my gym like not that long ago, and finding equipment suppliers within Canada was very difficult. I think that when I grew my gym, I bought a His and Hers barbell from Again Faster Canada at regionals. Yeah, I actually called you guys, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna be at regionals. Yeah. I don't want to pay for shipping. You know, I can buy a barbell. So, and I think I bought a trainer bar and a His and Hers barbell from you guys. Yeah. But you were the only ones in Canada at that time. I believe Rogue started coming to Canada later, and but they're out in Vancouver, and it was very difficult to have a company locally, which blows my mind, in Toronto. Yeah. To have a company locally that actually provides CrossFit equipment. So it was really cool to have you guys, around at that time.
Yeah, we see ourselves very much as the partners of the gym. Ultimately for us, the whether it's this, the home gym or the commercial, the CrossFit box, for us, our main customer is your customer. So we want to make sure that you guys have the right equipment to last you for the next 3 to 4, 5, 6, 10 years, so that your members stay for 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years. You know, a lot of new gym owners, and I've been there. I've done that so many freaking times that, you know, you want to save $1,000 here, $1,000 there, and you end up kind of chinsing on some of the equipment, which makes sense because you have to buy so much freaking equipment to have it make sense. But in the end, you know, your bars bend, plates crack, you never really know, and it ends up kind of at that point where you're like, oh, do I replace them or do I just deal with them? But then you're trying to do a high-end gym with some cracked bars and
so you end up spending more anyways because you're going to replace them.
So it's you know, so we help a lot of times. What we do now is our main message is really to focus a lot on the service that we provide and to help them understand that investing in the right equipment now means investing in your box, means investing in your future, so that your members
Yes,
stay.
sir. I'll tell you right now, like, it's a very difficult situation for a box owner to make when they first start, because they have a certain amount of budget and they're like, you know, do I pay $2 a pound or $1 a pound for a bumper? Guess what, motherfuckers? You pay $1 a pound, in a year's time, your bumpers are done.
Oh, you're paying
also,
$1
guess what?
Yeah.
You get shitty barbells. You don't have good barbells for your gym. You have no right charging what you charge for your members. I charge about $200 a month on average, taxes in and stuff. $200 a month around there. 160, 180 plus tax. If I don't have good quality bumpers and bars, it's both. It affects me personally, man. Yeah. So right now my bumpers are. I told you, we were talking about this earlier. My 25-pound bumpers have been a little bit, you know, not doing too well. You know,
used and abused.
Yeah. And they're cheap.
Yeah.
Right. I personally feel like I'm losing sleep over it.
Yeah.
Because I provide quality at my gym, and if my bumpers aren't quality, I am upset. Like personally, I feel uneasy.
That's right. And you know, you have to kind of understand. We beat the shit out of our equipment, right? And, and you know,
bounce
10s and
left
15s,
and right.
10s and 15s. You know, I love that video of Save the 10s. You know, like those bumpers take a lot of damage. I get a lot of calls after the open saying, "Hey, my 10s and 15s broke." I'm like, "No shit." You know, like everyone's gross riding them off. Like, you know, those snatches of 75 pounds. Everyone's throwing them like crazy. But you know, your major, your 25, 35, 40 hours, they shouldn't break. Like we guarantee them 3 years. You know, the 10s and 15s are guaranteed less than that because we know that we beat them.
Of course,
but the 25, 35, 45, they should last a long time. And that's what I really like, is that, you know, we've had shitty plates. And you ask John Gilson, ask anybody again faster, like the last 2 years, we've had shitty plates. We've gone through 3 different versions and they cracked, and like we had 45 split, and we learned a lot about it. And in the last year, they've invested tons of money into the development of our plates. And the stuff we have now is really, really impressive. There's some technology that we have. I don't think anybody. Dude,
that's really good to hear, man. Because looking at forums, if you go on forums like CrossFit forums and stuff like that, one thing I really admire about John is that he's the head of a pretty big ass company, and he will respond to your international company, and he will respond to your personal message instantly. Yep. Like, he is on top of that shit, and he's a great guy. But there's been some complaints about plates cracking from again faster, the new the speckle plates not lasting too well, whatever, you know. But it's really cool to hear that, you know, you guys take that information, you put it into practice, and you say, you know what, we're going to be better.
Well, this new generation of plates that we have, I have some here with us. We've had them in the market since November. We haven't had one return. And that's like a 1,000,000% increase versus, you know, like, or decrease, I guess, what we used to have. So, and it's because of the technology we put in there. Like, do you mind if I show you some of the plates?
Let's see some plates, man. Hey, my cup's on the right.
So the first thing I want to show you is that there's a virgin bumper, the basic, the workhorse bumper that we have. And what happens in these types that most competitors have is that they'll mold the rubber, then they'll put the steel collar through, and then just flatten it, right? Yeah. What happens is as it gets worn, that comes loose, and that vibration starts breaking. But ours are actually molded within the rubber, so there's no this seam is basically, this metal is inside the rubber, so it cannot come loose. Cool. Therefore, the cracking is almost not possible.
And this is on a hard virgin plate.
And this is a 10. Try to bend it. Go ahead and try to bend it.
Oh, wow.
Like, we all know what it's like when a bar falls with 10s on, it just wobbles over.
It's like a pancake.
This thing will not. This is the 10. You should see the 15.
Wow, that's cool.
The 15 is bulletproof.
That's really cool, man.
So that's one thing that we've really. I don't think anyone does it in the market.
Yeah.
And they're probably gonna want to
That's
try.
awesome, dude.
How deep is that insert though? How far in does it go?
It comes out to about halfway of the inside of middle.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive. Like,
wow.
I'm trying to break one. I have one in my garage, and I beat the absolute crap out of it. And like I'm waiting for it to break so I can actually open it up. Like it's really. I'm very impressed. I've had, we've all had bumpers forever. This stuff will last a long time. And then the other thing that's really cool is our chrome rubber bumpers. And this is a nice heavy one, so that'll be fun.
It's a 45, right?
So one thing, the main ones we know out there are the high temp, the chrome rubber recycled
that feels
ones,
so
right?
good.
So what's really cool, again, the collar is co-molded within it.
Yeah.
But the other stuff that's really cool is that, one, there's a speckle. So, gym members, God love them, but sometimes they don't know what the hell to put on a bar. They don't
Pick up a yellow, pick up a blue.
Exactly,
yes,
so that'll help a lot. And then these ones are actually an inch thinner, 45s, versus the high temps that we know that are out there. And then the most important thing is that the diameter of the plate is standard to IWF. Unfortunately, a high temp doesn't have that. So if you think about it, and I don't know if the mic will pick me up here, but when they're on the ground, you'll see the difference. So when you mix it with another, if you mix your plate, your chrome rubber with the rubber. So if you have this on a bar, this guy's taking all the impact. Therefore, let's try to see if this works. Therefore, super, like uneven damage on the bar.
Yeah.
Uneven bouncing. So it's not cool. Like that, you can't mix and match. So then you're stuck to have everything with your high temps, right? Ours are actually the exact same diameter. So,
or the worst part would be you go to a weightlifting competition, you're training with rubber plates, and all of a sudden you go to a weightlifting competition, and all of a sudden you're like shit in the bed. I'm like, why am I not hitting my 100%? Yeah. Because you're a couple of centimeters away from what you're used to using.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, if you've never weightlifted before, like competitively, that does make a huge difference. I'm not gonna lie. Like every centimeter counts in weightlifting. Yeah. If that bar is away from you a centimeter or lower or higher, that is a huge difference. So, for example, when I go to my buddy's gym and I use a generic high temp style plate, I will actually snatch more. When I use a IWF qualified plate, like with an insert, like a competition plate, I don't snatch as much.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you can blame that directly. It depends on what you ate that morning too. Maybe you never know,
but at the end of the day, it's like it's been a trend for the past 2 years. So no, that's pretty cool, man.
It all comes down to, again,
cool.
like going back to the story of making sure that you take care of your equipment. If you have the right equipment, it'll last longer.
So what kind of warranty do you guys have on those plates? On these ones,
so all of
the
our bumpers, well, they're all 3 years. With the 25, 35, 45s are 3 years. After that, the 10s and 15s are 3 months, because depending on, a new gym, you won't have your little ladies dropping that much.
Yeah.
A gym that's been around, your little ladies are pretty freaking strong, and they're dropping a whole hell of a lot more. So it just depends on how you're the mix and match of your gym. So it's impossible to guarantee for 3 months or life some of the smaller plates, but like you saw, you can't bend our 10s, so they're pretty. That's a lot of the evolution that's gone through again faster, and we're really proud of a lot of stuff we're coming out with. It just never stops. In the pipes, there's just amazing stuff out there.
So 3 years ago, I bought an again faster barbell for my wife and myself for our home gym, and that evolved into a CrossFit gym, and a box and all that stuff, which is really cool. And I love the bend and the whip and the spin of the barbell. Yeah. I like it a lot, actually. But I prefer other barbells over the Again Faster because of the actual grip. The grip was kind of like soft, and it wore out quite quickly. I saw your new barbells, a 2.0. Man, that is fucking crazy. Well, they have a $255 barbell for a women's barbell with bearings. Yeah, what
needle
the hell? Yeah, that is crazy.
So again, faster. First of all, just touching on the knurling part, that's like, it's like a golf club. I can have a golf club that I absolutely love. You'll pick it up, you'll hate it. It's, barbells are it's your tool, right? You're lifting this stuff really heavy.
Oh yeah, I have Canadian national champions come to my gym, and one of them said, "Oh, I love this barbell." The other one said, "Oh, I hate it."
So that's what it is, And we had people say that it's not, our knurling's too aggressive. It's really knurling is totally your taste. Like the clock off bar, that's clock I would decide it. So if you want to go up against clock off, I'll give you his number and you can tell him why I don't like it. That's up to you.
Yeah, I'll kick his ass.
Yeah.
Not me.
Kick Cole's ass.
Not me.
I'll just give him a hug.
And the difference for us, and our competitors have many different versions of bars, and that's totally cool because again, it's like having different versions of golf clubs. Like there's many needs for different barbells. We decided to go the route of having our standard barbells. So we have our Evolution bar, which is like your economy kind of beat up bar. We have our team barbells, which is great for boxes that have a good guarantee. And then we have our clock out bar. And the reason we have these 3 bars and only these 3 bars is because we make so freaking many of them that we can definitely benefit from our economies of scale, and we can bring it to a price that makes sense. So, it's a trade-off. We want to make sure again that the gyms can afford bars that can last them for the next 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's the direction.
That's important, man.
We like that.
Oh my God, I know you feel like I own a gym. I need a women's barbell right now so bad. I know exactly what you mean.
You know where our booth is.
But here's a question for you, right? Yeah. So you guys are, a few varieties, because that's what you're going to specialize in. Yeah. Is your cost higher or lower because of that?
Well, that's it. Because we have only a few variety, we make so many of it, so our cost is lower. So there's that economies of scale, and that's what helps us. What we did was we've sourced from all parts of the world at the best prices we can and assembled them to bring you the best bar at the lowest cost, our cost, and lowest price to you. I mean, we pass on our savings to you. It's not we don't go out there trying to screw people. We want to make sure the gyms have access to good equipment.
Yeah. I think the goddamn dog, badass wad work, get your shit together. The coolest thing about Again Faster that I've noticed is that John has always worked to provide value to the world. Whether it's through information, whether it's through products like Again Faster, whatever it is, he's always, as a human being, he's always added value to the world. And there's a misconception in North American society that if it's cheaper, it's shit. And it's not. If it's cheaper by 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks, it's not as good as the next barbell. Man, I'm telling you right now, that is not the mental game that Again Faster plays, because I've had first-hand experience with Again Faster, and that is not how it works.
Well, yeah.
And people think we're, it's a marketing scheme, right? Oh, we're trying to pass the cost over to you. Yeah. It's not bullshit, man. It's for real.
Our stuff's not cheap, and we're not going to make it cheaper.
No.
But actually, I'm not going to lie, the exchange rate is like smoking us right now. We had no choice but to increase prices. And the things that our service that comes with it, I will connect you with people who will help you design your gym in terms of doing some art graphic work. I'll connect you with insurance companies. I'll connect you with tons of Excel spreadsheets to help you build your budget. That's the service. We want to make sure you survive. We don't want to just ship you your gear and be like, okay, good luck.
On that note, a couple of weeks ago, we were at a gym in Oakville that had just opened up. I don't know if you remember the name of it.
Oh, man. Yeah, the fighting with the ring.
Radix,
right? Yeah. And the biggest thing about it was, as a business, it's about cost, but what's the dude's name? Daniel
Thiessen,
Yeah. He was just raving about the quality of service that he got. You know, the quality of the equipment is, everyone kind of knows that, right? But it was more than anything else the service. You guys were so attentive to him. Again, as a new box opening up, getting a lot of equipment, and that was the big thing that he was very, very, very in tune with.
Yeah.
So, so shout out to you guys for that as well.
That's the thing. We go on a journey with these box owners. We have to. They're making big decisions in their lives to quit their 80, 50, 80, $100,000 salaries to kind of stock this massive empty space and be like, okay, hopefully someone's going to come through.
Yeah.
So we're on this big journey with them, and we want to keep in touch with them. We want to help to promote them. It's not a simple decision. I've done it 8 times. I've opened 8 gyms. I don't own them all anymore, but I mean, it's a scary decision every single freaking time.
Yeah, man. So we appreciate you guys being on the podcast. Check out againfastercanada.ca or com.
Just againfaster.ca. Yeah.
Againfaster.ca for Again Faster Canada. Again Faster Canada on Instagram.
We're everywhere,
Facebook, all that stuff, Twitter. Dude, these have one of the best customer service I've ever experienced in my life. So check them out. They're new barbells, the 2.0s. I can't believe they're under $300 for a fucking bearing barbell, which is crazy. I pay like $800 for my bearing barbell. So check them out, hit them up, and get their stuff. All right. So peace out. Thanks for watching. Check us out on sweaterxmag.com or snatchandscotch.com. or social media, Snatches and Scotch on everything. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope. What's up? All right. Peace out. Good? Good.